How's it going on, guys? Welcome back to the Nerdy Jock. This is uh my thoughts on the boys. Um, First, I want to thank you for watching this. If you are, from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you I appreciate it. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. So, I missed last week's episode of The Boy. Um, One last week was a very tumultuous week for me. A lot of stuff going on, and then I wanted to catch up on Andor because I never seen it, and I missed the first season, and by default, didn't watch the second season, obviously. And so last week I said, well, let me catch up on Andor. So I started watching that. I finished it. It was amazing. I love Andor. I think it's one of the best. How amazing is it that we have in the same universe Skeleton Crew and Andor, that we have Rebels, that we have the Mandalorian, and all these wonderful characters all in one universe. I was thinking about that. And Andor was amazing, and that speech by Mama Martha is the relevance of that speech today. Um, Gave me chills. That was a beautiful speech. But anyway, speaking of being very modern and relevant, do people understand The Boys is not SNL esque type show? They're not done like the night of. You guys understand that, right? Like The Boys premieres on Wednesday. They're not filming it on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if you guys get that, understand that. I mean, those of you that are intelligent are, but for those of you that um, lean to the right side of the political spectrum, you do understand these are not done. This is not SNL. This is not a skit comedy that's filmed in front of a live audience. This is not done the night of. These episodes have a lot of VFX. Again, for those of you that lean right, I understand these terms are difficult for you to understand. Special effects, CGI, make believe. They take time. They take Someone needs to take the time to film the special effects. These things are edited. These things are cut. These things are music needs to be added. Um, sure, sure. They might go in and film them an extra scene or two that they feel might fit inside, and then edit it in. But for the most part, the majority of the season um, is pre is shot like a movie, like the Odyssey. The Odyssey isn't shooting right now. They're not going to shoot the Odyssey, and when does it come out? July. So they're not going to shoot it in June and release in July, right? That thing has been shot for what, at least a year. Same thing with these TV shows, especially one like The Boys that's so I mean, not as heavy on the special effects. I like some of the Disney Plus shows, but I mean these shows are shot well before they come out. So I say that because I see a lot of people saying they're making fun of Donald Trump, my Lord and Savior. And the most hilarious thing about that is they're too stupid to realize, no, all this was shot well before Trump did any of the things that happened in the show. Matter of fact, they would have had no idea that any of the stuff would have happened. The picture of Trump as Jesus, and yes, it's exactly what he did. He can bullshit that he was trying to paint a picture of him as this or that. He painted himself as Jesus because that's what that maniac fancies himself as. Um, the gaudy and just overindulgence that was the gold statue erected up in, what was it? Um, I think it's Florida. Of course, the state is horrible. God, I want to move back to New York so bad. Anyway, um, all that was done after the show was already filmed. I don't know if you guys realize that or not. Kind of how that works. You film it, you edit it, you get everything to your liking, and then you release it. Everything's already been shot. But maybe I'm asking too much. But anyway, last two episodes, I really love them. I've seen people say they don't like them. I've seen people say that they hate it. I couldn't disagree more. One thing, and I've said this before, I stopped watching The Boys for a while just because the crass, vulgar, gratuitous, over the top nature of it just became too much for me. And there were better things to watch. But I came on this season, season 5, and was just so, sucked back into that world. So much so I'm gonna go back and rewatch, not rewatch, but go back and watch seasons 3 and 4, because season 2 was the last season I watched. And one thing about Homelander previously, and if this changed within um some of the later seasons, 3 or 4, let me know. But he always was conscientious of how people felt about him. He wouldn't do anything too over the top because he didn't want people's opinion of him to diminish. He was always self conscious about that. And now you see him with this God ideology, and now really you see he doesn't care anymore. Whatever afterthought or whatever kept him from being a full fledged menace to, just society, has been almost completely wiped clean from him. He does not care anymore. He has no self restraints. And now he's just 100% in his own head a god, a being with whom demands full loyalty and obedience. Anything other than that means that you have to die. And I think that what makes Homelander really scary was he always had the potential, and now we're seeing it. Now with the V1, we saw episode 6. We see him with the V1 now. Now the the weapon they were working on won't work for him. Just like Soldier Boy, it won't affect him. And we saw, episode 6. We finally met. Was it Bombsight? We kind of finally saw Sage turn and basically, make her allegiance to stopping Homelander known. It's no longer a secret. She made it known she's against Homelander. So, and then another thing about this episode 6, I think, or episode 7, or one of them. Got watching back to back. Um, I like the Deeps. Just his ups and downs, right? At first, we see him and we hate him because he sexually assaulted Starlight, and you just despise him. And then you see him going on his redemption arc and try to be a better person. And then we see when it suits him, that's fine. But when he's in good favor with Homelander, he kind of goes back to this what's the word, to the worst version of himself. We saw a couple episodes ago him eating sushi, where I know in previous seasons he said he wasn't going to eat fish anymore, and then we see um they made a pipeline, and he's like, yeah, and the sage is like, we need to do like a PSA where you go on there and you basically endorse his pipeline. He's like, yeah, the fish don't like pipelines. And Sage even says, are you saying you don't believe in Homelander? And he's like, no, 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 no. She's like, listen, what's more important, or who's more important is happy with you, Homelander or a fucking grouper? And he does a PSA. The pipeline is, blows up in his face, and we find out it was Black Noir that sabotaged it, and that's why Deep kills Black Noir. But it's too late. The fish found out he's the one who endorsed it and said, "Hey, the pipeline's fine." Matter of fact, he sees a fish. He's like, I don't remember the name, but let's say Gary. He's like, oh, Gary. He's talking his fish CPR, and the fish spits up oil, and he turns to Deep and says, "We know it was you, Kevin," and he dies. And of course, in this great scene that everyone's talking about, he's sitting on a pier and he's drinking. He throws a can in the water, and his hammerhead is like, "Hey, Deep!" And Deep's like, "Hey, what's up?" Whatever his name is. And he's like, "Come get this can. Come on, you can't leave it here." And Deep's like, "Man, I'm messed up, man. I'm sad." He's like, "Come on in. Come on in, go get the can. You don't want someone to get hurt." And Deep's like, "Nah, not right now." And the hammerhead turns, "Motherfucker! We know it was you. We know we're gonna come in this water. We're gonna fucking kill you." And of course, it's voiced by Samuel Jackson, which is just perfect because his motherfucker like no other motherfuckers can. If that made any sense. When he, I mean, just his it was what, a 30-second cameo, but it's perfect. It is perfect. And then some guy's drowning, and everyone, of course, they see the Deep, and they're like, "Hey, Deep, there's a Deep, Deep, please help my grandpa." And Deep's like, "Yeah, I can't do that." And they're like, "Please, please, grandpa's dying." And Deep just kind of backs away. And he having a phone call. I think it was his mom. He said, "Hey, how about going to Las Vegas or something and do like a show?" They're like, "Why do you go to Las Vegas? It's a landlocked city. Your whole thing is water." And Deep's like, "Oh, my whole thing isn't just water, but he it is like other than being a king of the seven seas, or whatever they call him, the Lord of the Seven Seas, I think is his name they call him. He's nothing without that." So he's at a crossroads. He doesn't know what to do. So, in Kamiko, they find out that Soldier Boy got those powers, his blast, from exposure to uranium. So they keep, in intervals exposing, Kamiko to Uranium, trying to give her Soldier Boy's powers. And and then they have the test screening for this, I guess, video, whatever they're doing, where Jesus comes down and Jesus tells Homelander, hey, we gotta do something about all these transgender immigrants, and I can't do it. Now I'm gonna make you God. And he even gives Homelander like his thorn crown, and you can tell because All Father's doing it. And everyone in the audience is just looking at it like, what the fuck? And they have like these mind readers, and Homelander's like, out of 30 people, how many truly believe on God? He's like, maybe 6. He's like, okay, cool, kill the rest of them. Even Oldfather's like, no, I can convince them, and Homelander hangs up on him. So he has to go now, and he gets the girl, the young girl we saw in like the second episode, the cat, and the guy, I forget his name, the guy that we saw in Gen V that hunts the soups that has like super sniffing power, and they go in there to like kill all the like audience members that didn't believe in Homelander, and Starlight and Mother's Milk bust in, and there's this part where Mother Milk see a rat. We all know Mother's Milk doesn't like germs, so he grabs a rat and he throws it at the cat girl, and she takes it and she bites his head off. It just starts chewing on it. There's still vulgarness and stuff in there. It's not gonna be void of that. I just like to tone it down. And but I just love, I love that scene. I think Mother Milk injects with the virus because he has like a needle he injects her, and Starlight kicks the one Tracker Soup's ass, and they save him. And you can tell these are all like Homelander supporters because they love Homelander, and they tell Starlight, thank you. In episode 7, we see Marie Moreau and Jordan Lee. That was a pleasant surprise. I love Gen V. I actually like Gen V probably more than the boys. I love that show. That show is really good, and we see them. It's not very. They're not very long. It's just kind of a cameo. But at the very end, we see Starlight go to them and say, "Hey, we need your help." So I'm hoping we see more of them the last episode, of course. And of course, end of episode 7, we see Frenchie get killed. Which now, all bets are off. Now Kimiko doesn't have any reason to live. Frenchie's dead. So next episode gonna go balls to the wall, I think. It's gonna be balls to the wall, no bullshit. Homelander chokes out Soldier Boy and puts him back in the little cryogenic, tube, which I think he'll get saved from, and be like, you know what? Fuck Homelander. Like I'm fucking sick of him. And I think, like I said, I think next episode will be balls to the wall. I don't think it's going to go this hardcore. But I'm all for it. I'm excited for it. But I like the characterization and the true. Homelander has become truly obdurate. There's no longer any type of need for validation. He doesn't care. He's a villain who has lost his ability to care or worry about what others think about him. It doesn't faze him anymore. So yeah, I think we'll see some amazing, just balls to the wall. Nobody's safe. We saw to see Ryan come back. Marie Monroe, Kamiko, who now doesn't give a fuck. I think we're going to see a lot. I think we're going to see it's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Um, Again, I know a lot of people haven't liked the show. I love this so far. I think it's amazing. I think the characterization, the build up of Homelander becoming this ultimate villain. I think he's as scary as he's ever been because he doesn't care anymore. I think um, I think you're going to see a ruthless, truly terrifying version of Homelander, and I think they've been building up to it. I think it finally will come to a head in the final episode. Like I said, we saw Ryan, Marie Monroe, who else? The Deep, because Homelander disbanded to 7, and so the Deep really didn't have anything anymore. So really, in his newfound sense of this God complex and not caring anymore what anyone thinks, Homelander had pushed away everyone. And I think you're going to see they all turn on him. Soldier Boy, Deep, Ryan, and I think you'll see just Homelander versus everyone type of deal. Because the only thing the Deep had was a 7. That was his. Deep is very much about validation. And as long as he's had the 7 and been part of the 7, because we saw when he kicked out the 7, it damaged him. So I'm excited. This is going to be the last episode is going to be epic. For those of you that don't like it, I don't tell you. Maybe if your Lord and Savior in real life wasn't a con man and a criminal and a pedophile and a rapist and a madman, maybe you wouldn't be offended by the crazy shit that Homelander is doing, because it's the same thing that happened in real life. And you know what? It's kind of sad. It's terrifying, to be honest with you. But that's the world we live in. I miss the days when, during the Obama administration, where I didn't have to watch a show like The Boys or Daredevil or Andor and see the villains within that show. And, back then I could laugh and say, oh, thank God we don't, have that. Instead, now I fall into this existential dread of anxiety and depression because I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's what happened on the TV last week. Or it sounds like something that, this maniac would tweet. It's just, life imitates art. And here we are. But we'll get through it. Just like Butcher and the Boys, just like Daredevil, just like the rebellion. We will get through it. It will end, and this is the worst. I mean, this is better days are ahead, and I know it's hard. I don't just say, oh, I know, and I have no fucking idea. I know it's hard. I know because I lived through it. But better days are ahead. Better things will happen to us. We have to be patient, keep our head down, and do the best we can. That's all we can do. Anyway, guys, I'm excited but sad that next week we get the end of The Boys, but it will give me a chance to catch up on seasons 3 and 4. I already caught up on Gen V, which, or like I said, I love that, even more than The Boys. I haven't seen the animated special. Is the special or a season? I don't know. I have to check it out. But it's diabolical. I don't know, something like that. I have to look at that. I haven't really heard anything about it. If it's good, if it's bad. Um, but we'll see. I might check it out, or I may not. I don't know. It depends. Cause we have um, Spider Noir coming out in a couple of weeks, which I'm very excited about. And a lot of other amazing things. So it's an amazing time to be a nerd. Um, and so I've got a lot to look forward to. A whole lot. So, by the way, what the fuck is going on with Disney? Why are they constantly now releasing all their trailers to anyone but the public? Like, don't tell me Disney went full, like, movie villain mode where they only care about the investors and the millionaires. And, like, have they gone full Trump? That should be a new phrase. Don't go full Trump. Like if you're an owner of a company and you only showing your trailers to your investors and people who can afford to see them, not showing them to your actual fans, your everyday hardworking fans, you're going full Trump. Don't go full Trump. Never go full Trump. And that's what Disney's doing. So I'm not very excited right now for the new leadership at Disney. I feel like they're going full Trump. You're only showing your trailers now to people who can afford it, to investors, to select members of high society. You fucking own Marvel and Star Wars. How are you acting like a movie villain or a member of the Empire? You're only showing this stuff to people who can afford it, people who can, and like show the trailers to the fans. We're the ones that really want to see it, are going to react to it. We're the ones that are going to spend our time watching these shows. These investors and these people, not saying all of them won't watch it, but I mean, are they going to be are they going to buy the shirts, the Funko Pops, the action figures, the merchandise? Are they going to buy that? Or are we? Don't go full Trump, Disney. It's not a good look. I'm very concerned with the direction you're going because you're going down the road of going full Trump, and you own two of the biggest parts of my, outside of my wife and my children and my pets. Those are my top three. But outside of them, the biggest part of my life are Marvel, DC, Star Wars. And you own 2 out of 3. And normally 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But if you're going to start acting like Trump, it's the opposite. Stop it. Look out for your fans. Look out for the people who buy this stuff. I have a whole library full of comics. Like, speaking of that, I got to go back to doing my comic recommendations. Haven't done that in a while. I don't have it on me, but I can recommend Dark Patterns. It's a brand new book. Batman Dark Patterns. I read it. I loved it. It was amazing. It is so worth the buy. Dark Patterns Batman. If you haven't got it yet or you heard about it, it is amazing. It is profoundly amazing. Well worth the buy. One of the best Batman books. And it is isolated. Not part of, you have to read anything before or after. It's an isolated story, kind of like The Long Halloween. It kind of remind me of The Long Halloween. Very similar, similar tone and everything. And that's one of my favorite Batman stories, The Long Halloween. That and its sequel, Dark Victory, and I guess spiritual sequel, Haunted Night, was I read it every Halloween. It came out with a new printing, but I have my old printing, so I'm content with that. But anyway, yeah, Disney, don't go full Trump. All right, no one will like you if you go full Trump. Take care of your fans. Show us these trailers. Stop showing them to the elite. They already have the money. They're already comfortable. They're already happy. Give us some happiness in our lives. Don't be a Trump. Anyway, guys. Yeah, next week. Final thing of the trailer. In between that and Spider New War, I don't know. I might do some comic recommendations. Talk about some comics. I might talk about maybe some of my favorite, movies. Um, maybe movies not within DC or Marvel. Like some superhero movies outside of that I really enjoy. I mean, shit, you got Kick Ass. You have um, uh, Hancock. You have um, Hellboy. So you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens and what I come up with and how busy I am. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Don't go full Trump Disney. Don't do that.